The Farmer's Wisdom. Many years ago, an elderly man named Arthur lived in a small village in the hills of northern England. He owned a modest farm and worked tirelessly to make ends meet. Arthur's only family was his son Henry, who had moved to the city for his studies, leaving his father far behind. Arthur was known for his gentle demeanor and was well liked by the villagers. Despite working long hours alone, he never grumbled about his circumstances. The villagers often expressed their sympathy. "How lonely it must be without your son to help you," they would say. "When will he come home? It's unfortunate to live so far from your only family." But Arthur would only smile and reply calmly, "Who knows if it's good or bad?" One day, to everyone's surprise, Henry returned to the village. The news spread quickly, and the villagers were thrilled for Arthur. "This is wonderful. Your son is back, and now your life will be easier," they exclaimed. Arthur smiled and gave his familiar reply, "Who knows if it's good or bad?" The village folks often found his words puzzling, but they respected Arthur's wisdom and carried on. Life on the farm became a little less challenging with Henry's help. Arthur and Henry owned a horse, a great asset for farm work. One fateful morning, Henry forgot to latch the stable door properly, and the horse wandered off. Henry was distraught. "Father, I'm so sorry. Without the horse, the work will be so much harder," he lamented. The villagers were quick to sympathize. "This is terrible luck, Arthur," they said. But Arthur simply smiled. "Who knows if it's good or bad?" he replied. Later that evening, Henry spotted their missing horse grazing in the hills near the farm, accompanied by a wild horse. With patience, Henry managed to bring both the tame horse and the wild horse back home. The villagers couldn't believe it. "Arthur, first you lost your horse, and now you have two. What incredible luck," they said, celebrating his unexpected gain. But Arthur, with his calm smile, only repeated his familiar words, "Who knows if it's good or bad?" The wild horse intrigued Henry. Determined to tame it, he began training the new horse despite Arthur's warnings. "Be cautious, son. You've lived in the city for years and may not know how unpredictable wild horses can be," Arthur said. "Don't worry, father. Once I've trained it, the farm work will be much easier," Henry assured him. However, during one training session, the horse bucked wildly, and Henry was thrown to the ground, breaking his leg. The injury left him bedridden and unable to work. Once again, the villagers came to offer their condolences. "First your son was gone, then he returned, and now this misfortune. It's terrible luck, Arthur," they said. But Arthur, as always, remained calm. "Who knows if it's good or bad?" he replied. At the time, England was embroiled in a bitter conflict, and soldiers were traveling from town to town recruiting young men to fight. When the soldiers arrived in the village, every able-bodied young man was conscripted into the army. Tearful goodbyes filled the air as families sent their sons off to an uncertain fate. When the soldiers reached Arthur's farm, they saw Henry lying in bed with his injured leg and declared him unfit for service. They left him behind. The villagers soon realized the wisdom in Arthur's words. "Arthur, your son's injury kept him from being taken to war. What we thought was bad luck turned out to be good luck after all," they said, marveling at how events had unfolded. Arthur, with his usual gentle smile, replied, "Who knows if it's good or bad?" And so, the villagers came to understand that life's twists and turns often carry unexpected outcomes, and it is wise to wait and see what lies ahead. And that's the end of the story. Hope you learned something new. Thanks for watching.